Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. Today I'm going to go on a bit of a seasonal rant, and I thought about dressing up in a Grinch costume for this video, but let's talk about gift cards and why I don't buy them. So I'm going to start by just assuming that the reason why you're buying a gift card is as a gift. If you're buying it for pretty much any other reason, then don't. If the guy on the phone right now is telling you that you owe fines and they have to be paid in Amazon gift cards, he's ripping you off. But the nature of gift cards makes them highly attractive to criminals, which leads to our second point, which is that thousands of people are going to wake up on Christmas morning to a gift card, and when they go to use it, they're going to find that someone else has beaten them to it. There's already reports of this happening, but it happens every year. Criminals go and they copy the gift card codes in the stores. They may cut into packages or they just otherwise access them. And then they reseal it so you don't see anything wrong. And then when you activate the card, as soon as there's money in it, they'll go and drain it while you've still got that gift card wrapped up and it's sitting in a stocking or under the tree. So you don't know what's going on. The criminals have had a massive head start. And there is no way you win this race. The criminals have already won and moved on before you even realize that there's a problem. Now, giving the gift of disappointment probably wasn't what you were looking for, but it is a very real risk of gift cards. It's one of the reasons why I don't want to give them to anybody, because I'm hoping that they're going to enjoy it and not have to deal with maybe trying to get a refund if they even can. So let's move on to some of the other legal issues. Cash is guaranteed by the government. It's legal tender, which means you can use it to pay debts, you can use it to pay the government. By contrast, gift cards are guaranteed by something else. The first thing that sort of backs a gift card is goodwill. The company doesn't want to have the reputation for ripping off its customers, so they can't really go and say, hey, we're going to sell all these gift cards, and then just kind of decide, nah. I think that Amazon would probably get a lot of bad press if they suddenly decided that every Amazon card was no good. But if you've ever tried to return a bad product, you know exactly how far goodwill goes, which is as far as they want. So that takes us to the second thing that sort of backstops this, which is contract law and unjust enrichment. You make an agreement with the retailer that you will give them 20 bucks, and in return, they'll give you a card that you can use as if it was the same $20, except only at one place and only under limited circumstances, and other restrictions may apply, and so forth. So you've already got something that's worth less than $20, but let's say you go in and you try to use your gift card and they say, nah, we don't feel like it. We're just going to keep the money. Well, what's your remedy? Well, you can sue them. The problem is that if your gift card is $100, it may not be worth it to sue them for that $100. So that's not spectacular. Now, the third thing is consumer protection laws, because there have been enough abuses of gift cards over the years that consumer protection laws have started to spring up in various places in order to protect you as the purchaser of a gift card. Now, these vary dramatically depending on where you live. Different places will have different protections, so what you see as a protection in one place may not protect you in another. And in the absence of consumer protection laws otherwise, gift cards can include all sorts of nasty little surprises. For example, depending on where you live, they might expire. So you buy a $100 gift card today, and a year later, it's worth nothing. That's a thing in lots of places. They might have inactivity fees. Cash, if you put it under your pillow and wait 5 years, it doesn't go bad. I mean, inflation will have reduced its, actual spending power, but 20 bucks is 20 bucks. Whereas on a lot of these cards, they may start to have inactivity fees that kick in if you haven't been using it. They can also have activation fees. So you buy a card for $50, and then in order to activate it, it costs $5. So really, you've bought a $45 gift card. That's not fun, right? They can also have terms that may change after you buy them. They may say we can update our terms and conditions. And lastly, well, not lastly, because they can really do all sorts of things, but they can potentially prevent you from using them in some circumstances. A common one that comes up in many places is to say that you can't split payments on a gift card. So that if you have $5 left and you want to buy something that's worth $20, they may say that you can't split that and that $5 is just wasted. Now, to know which things that they're allowed to do and not allowed to do, which protections you have, you'll need to look up your local consumer protection laws, which in Canada vary from province to province. In Alberta, where I live, they've actually set up pretty good protections on gift cards, so most of these are illegal, but not all of them, and that is not universal. The one thing that gift cards always do is limit you to spending them at the business you bought them from. Your Amazon gift card doesn't work at Walmart and vice versa, even though the cash you traded to get them would have. So you're trading money to get a worse form of money, which doesn't sound like a great deal to me. And if the business goes bankrupt, that gift card becomes completely worthless. You are going to be an unsecured creditor, which means that you are last in line for money. And if there was going to be money left over to pay out your gift card, they wouldn't be going bankrupt. Now, what you've really given the company is an unsecured interest-free loan. You give them $20 and that they get that now. If they go belly up, you get nothing because it's unsecured. But in the meantime, they're earning interest on it. You might say, well, the interest on $20 for a month between like the start of December and Christmas, that's not a whole lot of money. Except it really adds up when you start looking at scale. Businesses make a lot of money on interest and so forth off of all of these gift card purchases just in the intervening time between purchase and use. So they earn interest on that $20 and you can't. Whereas if you just left it in a bank account, you'd at least be getting some minimal interest. And if you'd invested it, you'd be doing better, hopefully. Now, the company won't count that as income on their balance statement until you either spend it or until they process it as breakage, which takes an amount of time that varies by jurisdiction, but eventually they're just going to say, listen, this guy's not going to spend it, so we're just counting this as cash now. This is huge money for these companies. The interest alone is tremendous, but so are the amounts of money that are just not spent. 70% of the value approximately on gift cards is spent within 6 months. After a year, it goes up to around 80%, and it never really climbs much higher than that. So you should assume that about 20% of the value of your gift is a gift directly to the company. And I don't know about you, but I don't really like Amazon and Walmart and so forth. I just don't like them that much. If you've never felt the need to like give a tip at Walmart, then don't buy a gift card. But in fairness, lots of gifts people buy also suck and go unused or underused. So we have to factor that in. Maybe it's not a fair comparison, although if you include a receipt, people can usually return those things for actual cash instead of a gift card. Now, the solution a lot of people have is not to buy gift cards that only work at one place, but instead to buy cash cards, which are usually backed by some sort of credit card company, typically Visa or MasterCard, and which work just about anywhere that credit cards are accepted. Emphasis here on the just about, because there's plenty of places where they don't work, where they're not accepted, and it can kind of suck to find out that the card you just gave someone to cover the gas or whatever else might not work at the gas station. It might not work online. There's various places it just might not work, and that can be its own hassle. They have the same fraud problems. You know, it might be that your $100 card is cleared out before you use it, but in a lot of places, they also have vastly fewer legal protections. So they may come with a ton of fees. For example, Canada Post offers a reloadable prepaid Visa card that they're encouraging, you can give this as a gift. It costs $10 to activate it. It costs $3 every month. It costs $3 to add more money to, and so on and so on and so on. So if just think about this, if you give somebody a $20 card, half of that just went to the company. I don't think that was your plan. But now, to know what they can and can't do, again, you got to do legal research here. And unless you've got a lawyer in your pocket, that might not be the most fun thing to do. And I can tell you, just trying to do legal research for this one to figure out what's allowable where I am was a pain. It will probably be an even bigger pain if you're not used to it. Now, as you've probably guessed, all of this is a lead-in to the one gift card I do endorse. You're probably thinking, Runkle, is this whole video you selling out? No. I don't have a brand partnership here. I don't get a cut or anything like that. But there is one certificate that spends anywhere. It has no hidden fees. And it's safe enough that I can even show you guys the serial numbers right on screen without needing to worry that some viewer is going to go and spend it on me. And I can tell you, if I held up a gift card right now, it would be empty by the time I'm done the Patreon read. So, yeah, it's these. Cash. These work great. Anytime you want to give a gift card, you can just give these instead. And I can show you, like, here is the serial number. I can even read it. FYU 1477624. By the way, I'm eventually going to spend that. If you happen to get that serial number out in the wild, give me a shout and I'll send you something. That's offer only valid for the first person, but yeah, I think that might be a little fun. So if somebody out there sees that serial number, give me a shout. But you've probably heard like giving cash is impersonal, that it's rude and so forth. Well, it's really the same thing as giving the gift card. The reason why you've probably heard the whole giving cash is rude, but giving gift cards is fine is that there is marketing dollars that go in to spread that notion. And again, that's because businesses make huge money on the gift cards. And the only reason we don't think that's weird is because we're used to it. If we'd never heard of gift cards and this was a new invention, well, you probably wouldn't be watching this here. You'd be watching it on CoffeeZilla, and he'd have some thoughts about all of this. So, yeah, this is my usual Christmas rant. I will go on it probably every year. I really should have put this video out a little sooner to maybe discourage you and maybe encourage you that these are the better option. But, yeah, I am not a huge fan of gift cards. I think that they have very limited use cases. And unless you fall into those, maybe not such a good idea. It kind of says something that if you have a gift card that you don't want and you want to sell it on the market, you probably have to take like a 20% hit to do that. So, yeah. Also, if you're buying a used gift card, don't. Because if you're buying a used gift card, that is also a very common scam. Comes up all the time after Christmas. People say, I got a gift card to Walmart and I don't shop at Walmart. So buy my gift card. It's, $100 and you should buy it. Well, if you do, you're probably going to find one of two things. Either one, they stole the gift card and it's never actually been sort of approved as a gift card that can be activated. So it's just worthless. Or two, they didn't steal the gift card, but they already spent the gift card. Or three, they didn't steal the gift card and they haven't already spent the gift card, but they're going to spend it the instant they have your money. So you hand over the cash to get that gift card. And, this is for if you're savvy enough to check it, it might be that you check it, it looks good, you hand over the cash, and then you literally walk into the Walmart to go spend it, and they still beat you to it. Because that's a whole scam people run. So, again, you don't have that worry with cash. If somebody hands you the cash, it's probably good, so long as, you're not dealing with counterfeits or whatever. But there's a lot more counterfeit protection that exists in these things than exists in any of those cards. Anyway, that's my rant. I hope you found it to be interesting or educational. Please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to see more content. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters at the $50 level: Bottle Shock and Oz, Canada's National Firearms Association, Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights, PJs Forever, Cielo, and Purple Dragonair. And at the $20 level, Mark, Lindsay Metcalf, Larry Kalniak, Kyle Fox, Drunkle of the Baileys, Cameron Johnson, Andrew Elsich, Marvin CZ, and Dorky Dane. Thank you as well to my $10 supporters who will be in the crawl immediately following. Thank you for watching. Hope this has armed you with knowledge. I also need to do a video on the battle, the CCFR versus Canada, the battle on the Order in Council bans, which hopefully won't be super relevant, because hopefully we'll end up with a new government soon who can reverse all of this, and maybe the decision becomes moot. But that'll probably have to wait until after Christmas, because if I put it out now, you're probably busy enjoying family and so forth, and I don't think anyone's going to watch it. So we'll put that out in the new year, and until then, Merry Christmas.